Hello, hello, hello. Antphrodite here, your pop culture psychic, back to you again with another reading. This time it's a little different. It's on politics, but kind of another country's politics. So Candace Owens is being sued by the French president Emmanuel Macron and his wife, Brigitte Macron, for defamation. So I was not familiar with this. I haven't seen anything, but you guys have been putting in my comments in my last video, and so I figured I can look at the lawsuit and see what's going on. But apparently, allegedly, Candace is claiming that Brigitte is not a woman and in fact a man. I don't know, I'm a little lost, but I figured I'd do this reading and go in blind because I'll be able to be impartial and kind of figure out what's going on with this lawsuit. Is Candace going to win? Is she not? You know, is this a slam dunk? What's going to happen? This, that, and the other. So remember, these readings are all alleged for entertainers only, and let's get started. If you guys like this, please make sure you join the YouTube members. The join button down below. You get a lot of additional content. You can win a reading from me, pick a card, story times, so much content, especially on like celebrities making pacts with demons and Satan and stuff like that, and heaven and hell. So join button down below. All right. So Candace will be on the left, and then we'll do the Macrons on the right and the energy between with this lawsuit. Okay, Candace is the Eight of Cups, walking away from something. Seven of Swords, how are they a failure? Four of Pentacles, greedy, selfish. Wait, clarification on the failure. Huh. Clarification on the walking away. Candace wants this. This is exactly what Candace wanted. Candace has baited them into this. This is a complete bait. So the Eight of Cups is reversed. So I don't think Candace is afraid to walk back certain statements. I don't think Candace is afraid to walk away from certain things. Candace wanted information. Magician's upright, which is like, I want communication. I want honesty. I want authenticity. When you look at the Magician, it's like, I want to talk, right? So when the Four of Wands is like home and family, and the Queen of Swords is like a shark. Think of that as like a sharp woman who's like, you know, shrewd and cunning. She's reversed. So that means that she's kind of like, you look at that as like someone who's like, I'm going to throw everything at the wall until it sticks. I want information. I want it no matter how I get it. So I find it hard to believe that she would be shocked that she's getting sued here. Typically, when you look at the Queen of Swords reversed and the Magician upright, it's like, I want information. I'm going to get it no matter what. Granted, with the Four of Wands, that's like home and family. Is she being sued in America or France? Because Four of Wands could be about like on our soil. Think of it like America, because the Four of Wands like our home. But when we look at the Magician, that's like discovery. So it's almost like I want a lawsuit so I can go through discovery type of vibes, allegedly. Like that's kind of what that is. I need information. The Four of Pentacles is a greedy, selfish card, which to me makes me feel like there's this energy of like they're throwing everything at the wall until it sticks too. So like there's this level of like we're putting as many things as we can, and I definitely think they're trying to scare her. Yeah, I agree. But when the Seven of Swords is reversed, there's a failure. So that makes me feel like there's a setback for the president and his wife, and I'm confused. Why is there a failure and a setback? The Four of Swords is like a rejection or a healing of a wounds. The Page of Wands is saying one thing and doing another, and the Ace of Cups is about like a loving bond. First of all, I'm not convinced that the two of them are on the same page in terms of how to deal with this. I can tell you that. Number two, there's an issue. Now, I'm not a legal person, so I don't know what this means legally. But there's an issue with some of the things that they're claiming in the lawsuit. Because when the Page of Wands is reversed, yeah, and the Ten of Wands a burden. What's on Candace's side? The Emperor. It's about control. I don't think, here's what I'll say. I'm not convinced that Candace has everything right. However, the problem here is that there is somewhat level of convincing of doubt, meaning something that she's claiming about them, I don't know if they can prove. Look at the Page of Wands reverse and the Four of Swords, and the Seven of Swords is a failure. How does it work in a defamation case? If somebody can't prove something, does it negate everything else they've said, or is it just that one instance of defamation? I'm not sure how it works. I don't know how the trials work. I don't know what happens here. Are there people at the trials? Is there a jury, or is it just peers? I don't know how it works, but I can tell you that it doesn't look like everything that Candace has accused them to, it doesn't look like they can prove every last of it. I do think there's some they can. The Ten of Wands says that they're confident that they can prove some of their innocence, right? But when you look at the Seven of Swords reverse, it's like there's some that are big, that are like, how do I word this? Let me put it to you this way. Let's say that you can prove that someone is making up a lie about you, right? And let's say it's as simple as like, you know, you said that I said this, but I have proof that I said that, right? But if there are other things that you have in your repertoire or in your lawsuit, whatever, that you've said that I've said or done, and then I don't have proof to back that up, how does that work? Like, because like for me, I'm very confused. Hold on, let me keep pulling. Two of Pentacles reverse, Nine of Pentacles, and Hermit. Okay. The Nine of Pentacles is about doing things for myself. It's like a skill set, making money. But the Two of Pentacles reverse and the Hermit. So I feel like the Macrons are trying to get information on someone Candace is working with. Two of Pentacles is reversed. Is she doing everything on her own, or does she have someone she's working with? When you look at the Two of Pentacles reversed, there's someone that they're trying to get information from that's connected to her. Death card is reversed, Justice is reversed, and Ace of Pentacles. So when you look at the Justice being reversed, it's like that's the lawsuit. But the Death card is a rebirth, and the Ace of Pentacles. It's not that they're like, I don't know. It's interesting. I feel like they want to settle. I feel like the Macrons are willing to settle, but they're trying to gain information on who is feeding Candace information. Because like they're looking for information too. And I wonder if that's why the Seven of Swords is reversed, because they don't really care win or lose. They're looking for information too. Both of these people are seeking information from each other. It's a game to both of them. Five of Pentacles upright, Ten of Pentacles, and Ten of Swords. Okay, yeah, because it's one of those things where it's like, did Candace I don't know, I can't tell. I feel like, I mean, Candace is very good at getting a headline, right? Or getting a soundbite and making it like shocking, right? I'm wondering if that was a strategy here to lure the Macaroons into giving her the information she's seeking. Because when you look at the Ten of Pentacles, I'm playing the long game. The Ten of Swords is betraying or backstabbing, and the Five of Pentacles is like having power over someone. So when those three are together, you look at that as like, fuck, how do I word this? Damn it, the Six of Wands is there. It's ego. You look at that as like, I am not afraid to puff up my chest and bluff a little bit because I know that there's something else underneath that. So for instance, let's say that Brigitte, she says Brigitte's a man, right? But she's a woman, right? Let's say she's able to prove that she's a woman. Let's just say that allegedly, right? Let's say she's able to prove she's a woman. There's other stuff that Candace is more interested in. I don't buy that Candace is that interested in Brigitte's gender identity. I think that's a gotcha or a headline. That to me is like just it's a bait. It's a bait. That's what it is to me. And that's why I'm seeing like it looks like this is so I feel like Candace knows that that's a bait because she wanted this. She wants him to respond so that it can highlight the other stuff that she's having, the other information that she feels like she has. So it's almost like she was consistently playing a game of cat and mouse and baiting her. So this is what Candace wanted. 1000%. This is what Candace wanted. Knight of Cups reversed, Sun is reversed, and Seven of Pentacles. The problem here, I don't know. I find it very hard to believe that this lawsuit is going to actually stick. I mean, maybe, but it's going to be hard to keep the information silent. When you look at the Sun reversed and the Seven of Pentacles, the Macaroons are going to want this to be quiet. Like when you look at the Knight of Cups, it's like doing something prematurely. I don't know if they're really aware of what Candace has up her sleeve. She doesn't care to lose. I don't think people realize that. She don't give a crap if she loses because she wants information and she wants the public to know about something. What's the name of that thing where it's like remember when Beyonce was trying to delete that picture of her from the Super Bowl from the internet, and all it did is cause people to post the picture on the internet? That's the kind of vibe that I'm feeling with Candace. It's like, I want everything to be out there. I don't really care. I'll be the martyr. I'll be the person on the line. I don't care. Like, I'm telling you, she's willing to admit that she was wrong about certain things because I'm telling you, she's like, I don't care if I have to admit that I'm wrong about certain things, but I know I'm right about certain things, and let's see what they have to answer for that, because I don't think they can answer for that. That's the vibe. So it's a game of cat and mouse. Here's what I'll say. I don't understand why the French president and his wife did this, because even if they feel like it's a slam dunk case, which I'm not super convinced, but even if they did, the repercussions of this are worse. The Queen of Wands is reversed, the Ten of Cups is reversed, and the Seven of Cups. It's like one of those things where it's like, it's a hornet's nest, and I know that you want to like stop the hornet's nest, but you're kicking it up and making it worse. And it's only going to make more people pick up. Like Candace Owens, somebody else could pick this up after you go after Candace Owens. It'll be consistent. So for me, it just seems strange, especially with that Seven of Swords as their card when it's reversed. I mean, that's like, it's a failure card. So it's like, for me, even if you win the lawsuit, you still lose. You're still losing. There's no winning for the French president and his wife. There's no winning. The Seven of Swords being reversed is like, you can't win. Like, you may win the lawsuit, but you're not going to win the public perception. It's not going to work. It reminds me a lot of like the stuff I was seeing with like Blake Lively and stuff, where it's like, even if she's right, it doesn't matter because the general public doesn't care. So it's like there's an issue here with the situation as a whole. I just don't know. I'm like stuck on them not being able to answer to one part of this lawsuit. I don't know. I don't know how it works. Maybe you guys who are lawyers can tell me. But what I see is that there is a part of this lawsuit that the French president cannot prove, or at least is going to have a hard time proving or explaining. Maybe explaining is the word. Maybe proof is not the word. Maybe explaining. I see some sort of issue, allegedly French papers only. I see an issue with being able to explain in a way that makes sense and potentially evidence, but it's hard. And proving, it's hard to see exactly what that means. But they're gonna have a hard time, and it's gonna cast doubt on a lot of other things. What's also interesting is, like I said before, they're trying to get information on someone connected to Candace, but there's a lot riding on this for the French president. Eight of Swords is reversed, Knight of Wands, and Tower. Candace is very, 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 very close, or at least whoever Candace is working with, close to information on someone that is more powerful than the French president. And here's a conspiracy theory for you. The reason why they're being forced to act now is because they're worried that they're going to be in trouble. There's someone that's connected to the French president that I feel like is like, deal with this now before they start looking at my stuff or looking at me or focusing on me, because you're going to cause problems for other people. You need to nip this in the bud now. I don't believe they wanted to sue her. I believe that they had it in their back pocket. It was something that they were like, we could do this. We have enough evidence, they feel, to sue Candace. We feel like we can win, or at least win most of it, whatever. I don't know how that works. And I feel like they kept it in their back pocket. And then I feel like somebody who's more powerful than them was like, she's too close to something. You need to do it now or never. Because it feels like I see them being hesitant. And then I see them being pushed to do it. That being said, I mean, some of the stuff Candace is saying, I mean, it's intense. And so if you cannot prove that, Candace, you're going to get sued, right? And you're going to lose. So I don't know how it works. I don't know if they go over each individual claim, and if she like gets nailed for one claim and doesn't get nailed for the other, how that works and how the lawsuit works, or how much money she has to pay. I don't know how that works. You guys can maybe educate me in the comments. I don't think that Candace is going to get nailed for everything. I think some parts maybe get thrown out or dismissed, but I can tell you that Candace is okay with losing parts of this. She's okay with that. And she knew going in that that was what was going to happen. In fact, I feel like she is prepared financially for that because she wants people to know. She genuinely feels like the martyr in this, and that's how she feels. So I don't know. Maybe this isn't super helpful because I'm not super educated on the justice system and how it works. I know a lot of people are like, how could you say something like this? Da, 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 but this is what I see. So I don't really have a side in this. I don't really care, to be honest with you. It's not my business. I do think there's some wild claims from Candace. I mean, questioning someone's gender identity and her being so sure. I mean, I guess they're going to have to prove that. I don't know how you prove that. I don't know how you prove a gender identity. I'm not really sure what that means, but I think that's a red herring in this case. I feel like that's like the gotcha, and I feel like there's other information she wants out. So Candace wants stuff on the record for the future. I don't know. I mean, what do you guys think? What do you think? What do you think is going to happen? I feel like it's hard because I look at this from a logical perspective, and it's like if Candace is saying all this crazy stuff, you should have a legal right to protect yourself. And it does suck that when you have to defend yourself from legal stuff, or when you try to defend yourself from legal stuff, you're kind of put in a hard position, right? I get that, right? Like you're already having to defend yourself from this. When you do this, you're ending up making it bigger. It's hard. It's a hard decision to make, right? It's like, because as soon as you start litigation, it's going to make it more known and more people are going to look at this and it's going to dig more into your stuff. So I get it's a hard place and it's a hard place to be and figure out what to do. But I'm just not convinced that this is going to be as easy as we think it is, or I guess anybody thinks it is. I know the media is saying it's a slam dunk case. I don't know. I'm not convinced. The Seven of Swords being a failure for the Macrons, there's a setback here. A retraction or something. Something's off. I can't quite pinpoint it, but something's off, and I feel like they're playing into Candace's hand somehow, and I don't understand that, because if it's as simple as you guys are saying with a gender identity, can't you just prove that? So I'm like, what does this mean? Maybe I need to do my research. Maybe I need to do some research into this, but I still think Candace is going to lose some parts of this for sure, and I think she's going to owe some money, but I think she's prepared for that, which is even weirder to me. How the hell? I did not expect this going into this. Like seeing Candace be like, yeah, I'm willing to pay. I don't care. I don't care. I just want information. What? And then that the Macrons wanting her sources? What the hell? I'm confused. I'm going to leave it there. If you want a part 2 and you have more questions, put in the comments and maybe I'll do it for the members. But I'm going to leave it there. All legend friend tapers only. Please don't sue me, girl. Because I'm confusion. I was just looking at the lawsuit, not the information in the lawsuit. I was looking at the lawsuit and what's going to happen with the lawsuit. And I feel like that's fair game. So, period. If you like that, join the YouTube members. Until next time, bye, guys. I have never been more confused at a reading in my life. Going in blind maybe wasn't a good idea.